Let's create some simple 4th of July inspiration. Hello everybody and welcome into Emily's Upcycled home. Our first project here is going to be this book stack, and I want to bring a blue and red theme here. So we're going to come in with this botanical set here. We're going to pick out those beautiful red roses to go on top of our blue book here. Now we're going to kind of say 4th of July without saying 4th of July. I think all these pieces we're going to create can transition into a regular home decor pieces. Now, these are very vintage, rustic looking books, so we're just going to add some little detail on the top, give them a little bit more of a cottage vibe here. Using these beautiful ILD transfers from the Rose Botanical booklet, and all you do is just simply place your item and rub on your picture here until it's thoroughly on. I like to lift and rub the image as I go, just so a smoother transition there. Then we're going to go ahead and place our second rose somewhere here. After I find the placement, I'm going to cut off any excess I don't want, and we can go ahead and add some cute little leaves to our little red book as well. I went ahead and repeated that process of rubbing on that transfer, and then we want to make sure you burnish that in just by giving it a smooth rub so all the transfer adheres to your surface. With those leftover little leaves, I'm going to add them to the base of our red book, and then we're just going to layer these up as well. I'm going to come in with some simple coffee stained muslin, and I'm going to rip some strips here so that we can tie them around our books, binding them together and adding a little fabric detailing here. Now I end up adding a little bit of glue on each end of the book just to hold them in place. They will be easily taken apart if you wanted them separate. Now the bottom book was not in the best condition on the top surface, so that's why I didn't mind gluing it. And then we're going to just continue on creating the little bow here at the top. And I'm just using a regular shoe string bow that you can tie your shoelaces with. And then we'll come in and elaborate this even further with some top layers of greenery. I'm going to come in with this baby twilight bush that you can get from Julie's Designs and Signs. You can use my affiliate link in the description. But first we're going to go ahead and tackle these little ends tails here. I don't like how they're separate, so I'm going to add a little glue, attach them together, and then we're going to go ahead and layer in our baby twilight bush here, making sure I leave the opening for all that floral exposed there in that corner. So I'm going to just layer up my greenery. Then I'm going to add a little bit of this floral baby's breath here that I got from Hobby Lobby just to pull in a little bit of that white element. You know, it is a red, white, and blue theme, so we're just going to place that into the center. I do tack all this down with a little bit of glue just to hold everything in place. Now, if you watched Andrea's last video, she put the cutest little nest on her book stack. So this inspiration came from my girl at the cutest little thing. So make sure you give her a follow. I'm going to go ahead and tack this cute little nest on the top of our book stack. And I think that's going to finish off our element, except I wanted a little bit of a rustic vibe going on too, and bringing a little bit of that 4th of July element with this rusty star. Go ahead and tack that into the place after I thread through a twine ribbon there. And then I'll just glue that on the top, and then we'll finish this off with a cute little button. You guys, not everything needs to have the 4th of July element or flags. It can just have a cute red, white, and blue theme that brings in that holiday. But if you want to go with the flags and all that, you can perfectly do that as well. But here's our cute little book stack. Let me know what you guys think of this, and where would you place this in your home? If you enjoy my content, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. For this project, I'm going to bring a flag design here. I got this kitchen towel from Hobby Lobby. I went ahead and gave it a little bit of a grubby look with a mixture of coffee, cinnamon, and vanilla. So I just coffee stained both fabrics. On the back, I'm coming in with my same muslin coffee stained fabric that I also sell on my Facebook live shows. If you guys are interested, they are $15 a panel with a 1 foot wide by 5 foot long measurement, great for bow makings and small crafts. But I'm going to go ahead and just use my hot glue here, and we're going to make some cute little pillows that can go into a basket here. Now I'm going to do different sizes and do a set of 3 here that we can stage up in your home. Now I'm just going to come in with my glue. Usually I do use my sewing machine, but for video purposes here, we are just going to use our hot glue. Make sure your temp is on a high heat, and you want to make sure these little edges dry fully before you start stuffing your pillow. Now you see I'm just coming in with some scrap fabric, and I cut and rip as I go, giving this a very rustic vibe here. Once you have your little square filled, I leave one whole side open to polyfill everything in. I do get my polyfill at Hobby Lobby, but I just don't want to work through that very tiny hole trying to push everything into the fabric. So I leave a whole side of our paneling here open, or our pillow open, so I can stuff it. And then we come in and seal everything with some hot glue, pushing that polyfill lower into our fabric, and then just holding this in place for a few minutes. Now you notice on the back of that I have a little spot of some paint there that I don't want there. So instead of just letting that set, we're going to come in with just a little strip of fabric here, and we're going to cover up that imperfection. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that glue, add our fabric, and then I will go ahead and trim and rip it to the size that I want, making sure I have those frayed edges. Now I'm going to come back in again, repeating the process, making a smaller pillow here because I want 3 different sizes to layer up in a basket. Then once again, just adding our polyfill. And I like these very small pillows because they go great into dough bowls, and you layer everything up. So this is a size I like to make a lot because of that effect that you can just place them into little bowls and they're just cute. I'm gonna just trim off the little flyaways here, and then I'm gonna come in with the larger pillow, and we are gonna come make a cute little shabby or rag bow on the side here with some different red fabric as well. Just making little loops on each side, and then I'll go ahead and get a piece of twine and wrap that into the center, and then double knot it as well, clipping off any excess. And then we're just going to add this decorative element to the corner of the larger pillow. Add the cute little rustic star that I've been adding throughout this video. You'll probably see it even more. And then to add some life to it, we're going to add a little bit of greenery from that same baby twilight bush that you can get with my affiliate link. Now you guys, this is very Americana here with the flag. I added a little coffee stained doily and of course a wicker basket. You guys let me know what you think of these cute little details to layer up in your home. Shop more IOD, Fusion, and Dixie Belle products with my affiliate link to Julie's Designs and Signs. I have that link in the description, as well as supplies, home decor, and floral. A one-stop shop with a $9 flat rate shipping. So save and reuse my link and help my content here on YouTube. Thank you all for your support. So vintage bobbins are great in displaying everywhere into your home and little vessels everywhere, but we're just going to upcycle these just a tad, adding a cute little bow for 4th of July. I'm going to come in with this beautiful red plaid kind of bow, and again that muslin fabric that I coffee stained, and I'm just going to layer these up in little loops, and then we're going to go ahead and layer the red fabric on top of that. And simply with that long string on the bottom of our bow there, we're gonna double knot that. Now remember, you can go as thick, as wide, as many loops as you want. You can make your bow as big as you want, but I'm gonna do a simple small bow with the layer technique here. I am going to double knot this as well, and leaving my strings long here, I'm going to add my bow and simply wrap those strings around my bobbins so that they hold in place. So I'll take one around one way and then one leftover string around the other way, and then I will double knot them down in the center and just clip off any extra bobbins, any extra length of your bow you don't want on your piece. Now we are going to continue on with this piece, adding some greenery with that same twilight bush that I'm loving here. I just love the little greenery leaves that it has, and it just adds a cute little texture and an element to all your little goodies that you create. I'm going to trim off any of the excess greenery, and here comes that rusty little star down in the center that we glue. Now once again, just a simple rustic 4th of July element here without too much saying 4th of July. I added that blue and white plate in the background just to add the blue color, and then that cute little white vessel that we put everything in. Layer these up wherever you want. Cute also in a dough bowl, but you guys let me know what you think of this one. For this project, we're going to create some fabric orbs. Now, I found these greenery spheres in my stash, and I'm pretty sure I probably upcycled once already, but we're going to come in with some leftover fabric here that we have from our pillows, from our bows, and of course that muslin fabric, and we are going to layer these up, giving these orbs here a bit of a rag orb technique here. Now we're going to use the reds and the creams in that coffee stained muslin just to layer this up. Now I apologize, I am off camera here, wasn't paying attention to my camera, but we are just going to go ahead and focus on layering up and just pleating these as I go. Now you see the center one, I try to do a different design in the center, but decided to just do a very rough pleating look all the way around. So as I continue on this process, I'll come back and cover up that center that I don't like and just give it a little pleating process here. Now you're just adding your glue, going around with your strip of fabric and pitching little pleats into your surface there. And that's going to give you a little texture, little embellishment here with a little rippled effect around your orb. You just continue layering up your fabric of your choices. Now I'm just using the leftover fabric from all these crafts that we did today so far, which is going to help you with your cleanup as well. So this is what we got so far, and then I'll go ahead and continue on that process, layering and pleating as I go. Now you can add as many colors as you want, as many layers as you want, but once I finish that, I decide to let that sit and then add a cute little star wherever the little orb lands, just to add a little rustic detail into that center and give it a little bit of a more patriotic look or primitive style, because I know primitive styles also use a lot of stars. This is how I continued on with the second one, and you notice I'm going around and just pleating it at the beginning. We're coming back in with that deeper red platy kind of fabric on this one, and just pinching as we go and making those pleats. Now I'm just going to continue that process, giving us two different looks of these two orbs, and then add another rusty star in the center of the other one. Now these just look cute, thrown in a little wooden bowl and some greenery. Now I put the white little flower. I don't have any blue here, so we should have probably put a little bit of blue in there, but I love it with the wood bowl, and of course the doilies, you guys. I always add those doilies in for that softer cottage kind of vibe. But once again, let me know what you guys think of this one down in those comments. Now, I know everybody probably has one of these in their stash. You can even age this up even further. I did not, I left it as is, but we're gonna create a little piece here. We're gonna add a little pocket that same muslin fabric, I'm going to tack a little hot glue, and this is what's going to hold all our goodies in place into this little grater here. We're going to use that as a little pocket, and you can just display this in your home and layer up that red, white and blue kind of theme, patriotic theme, wherever you go. You can even paint this up if you want, but we went ahead and went this route so it's easy to change out and change out with the seasons if you wanted to. I'm going to add a little piece of that fabric that we use on our pillows, and you see I already added some wooden spoons there that were painted red that I got off a sale from my friend Cynthia over at Traveling Treasures with Cynthia too. So check her out as well. And that's on Facebook. And then I'm going to go ahead and back with our baby twilight bush here and that white rose just to pull in that white element and give this a cottage rustic vibe here. And I guess that's our theme for today, a little bit of primitive with a cottage rustic look here. Once again, coming back in with that same technique, layering up our bow with those same two fabrics, that muslin and plaid red that you can pick up at Hobby Lobby, actually, that red fabric there. And I'm going to go ahead and layer these up and tie that center bow with a piece of twine this time. And I'm going to leave some strings there so we can go ahead and just tie that to the handle of our cheese grater here, and then just layer up all the little doodads that I like into this piece. Now I want to add a little softness, so I'm going to come in with this little piece of scrap doily that is pretty beat up, so I went ahead and cut it. I'm going to add that to the layer of our pocket that we added our little flag to, just to add a little bit more white and a little bit more softness, bringing in that cottage element that I love. You guys gonna have to let me know what you think of this one down in those comments. Well, that's the end of our video, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope this all inspired you to do some 4th of July creations. Maybe some that just say 4th of July, some without, just with the color scheme. But let me know what you guys think of this video down in those comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell on your way out. I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye, friends.